How's it going, sports fans? Welcome back to FNN Sports Take with me, Kasey Hudson. I've got plenty of exciting news for you guys today. If you haven't heard already, which I'm sure there's no one in the world who has not heard this, a huge congratulations has to go out to Patrick Mahomes, as he is now a very wealthy young man. He is now one of the highest paid athletes in the NFL, no doubt. He's also the first $500 million player in history. He has the largest sports contract in history. Let's talk some numbers for a second. We're talking $503 million over a 10-year extension. This guy is supposed to be playing for the Chiefs up until 2031, which is fantastic. That's exciting. I get it. Everybody's super hyped for him. People are starting to hit him up with tabs. LeBron James even hit up Twitter to say, look, all I need is $5 from you, bro, if you can hand it over. So, of course, it's all well and fun right now. But with all fun comes a series of questions. And my question is, how realistic is this extension? We know that Patrick Mahomes is a very skilled QB. We've seen what he can do at the age that he's at right now. And, of course, all hopes point to him being a progressive, skilled player. But 10 years? After the Hall of Fame quarterbacks that we have seen, or hello, a Tom Brady for crying out loud, we did see that he stayed with the franchise as long as he did. Maybe they took some notes from that. Look, he played for 20 seasons with the Patriots. Maybe it is realistic to count on a guy being here with us this long. But the money there, and to go ahead and sign off on such a deal while he is still so young and only going into his 4th year of his career, that's kind of a little overzealous in my opinion. We don't know what happens to people injury-wise, and that money is there. The guarantee on this is outrageous. Also, we're basically saying that we're not counting on any new QB talent to come out in the next 10 drafts. 10 years is a very long time. 5 years used to be an impressive contract to get for people out here. I wonder if any QBs who have proven themselves or who we already know we're going to see in the Hall of Fame coming up here shortly are feeling a little salty or offended. I'm not saying he doesn't deserve this. I'm just saying that it's a bit extreme to give such a young guy such an extensive contract when there's so many different circumstances that can play into it. There's already 15 articles to the fact that he won't play for the Chiefs for the next 10 years, but a contract to this extent, I'm pretty sure they're going to make sure they keep him around. I know he's going to earn it. This kid works his tail off, and he's very intelligent. He's extremely book smart as well as smart on the field, so it's going to pay off for the Chiefs. But 10 years, guys, I think we could have narrowed that down just a little bit. So I pray over his health and that he makes the most of these 10 years of this 10-year contract, and don't hand out too many $5 tabs. It's unnecessary. These other guys got plenty of money. Now, for the NFL return plan, we've talked a bit to the fact that, shockingly, we are less than 3 weeks out from training camps finally kicking off, and there's not much of a plan in play here. And it shocks me because there's been so much time. Teams, professional teams, started returning towards the end of May and the top of June. So to think that we're still kind of waiting and lingering on specific safety protocols and procedures, I'm a little dumbfounded on. Now, the one thing that somebody made a solid point to is the fact that they might feel like they have more time just because football technically doesn't really take off until September, but we're talking regular season. Training camp starts in less than 3 weeks, as I just said. Preseason games are now being cut. There's still so much coming up so soon that I think it would put everybody at more ease if we just had more direction, if we dug in a bit deeper. Pardon me, guys. My light just went out. So some things that are starting to come out to the table now is that with the time that they have, some people are confident that the NFL and the NFLPA will have more protocols and procedures in play within the next 2 to 3 weeks. The NFL solidified last week to cut some games from the 2020 preseason, to be more specific, week 1 and week 4. They also created a 23-day acclimatization period in training camp to account for the likelihood that players will report to training camp not really as prepared as normal. They've had to do things virtually for months now, aside from the fact that, yes, some players started to get together in small groups, but still, you don't know who is in town, who they actually got to work out with, so it's not all the same structure. It doesn't have the same feel to it, and they probably didn't get the exact amount of fitness and everything that they needed to get out of it they would have their normal regular off season. We've seen how these guys start to put in work because football just turned into a year-round sport, whether you like it or not. Now, what's still on the table is that they are pushing for no preseason games. I think that's kind of pointless. For one, preseason's not too far out from the home openers, so you're not really saving yourself from too much. Yes, you're saving them from not being in the same place at the same time for more accounts, but in the same way, whoever catches this, the whole quarantine period and stuff, you're going to have to deal with this throughout the whole season. I don't think a couple of weeks sooner or later is going to make a drastic difference, in my personal opinion. And to another validation is that preseason is going to help with these rosters. Guys are already freaking out because weeks 1 and 4 being cut. These are opportunities where they now don't have a chance to show that they belong on that roster, or if it's between one guy and another guy and, you know, the margin is this tiny, that's what those preseason games are for. That's what training camp is for. So now people aren't even getting the opportunity to earn their livelihood in their career, in their dream. That's scary. So I don't think all preseason needs to be cut, but we'll see what happens when the vote comes out. They do have to talk to the player representatives, and in the next week or two, we should hear some more information. Stick with us for a quick commercial break, guys. When we come back, we'll break down some NBA updates.
At Duke Energy, we deliver electricity and so much more, like free home energy assessments, rebates for energy-saving improvements, payment options to help you better manage your budget, and even bill credits for helping the community use less energy. So no matter what you're doing, we can help you make better energy choices every day. It's just another way we bring power to your life. How much can you save?
All right, guys, welcome back. So for our NBA updates, Dwight Howard will now join the Lakers for the NBA Restart. Also, he will be donating his salary to his charity initiative, Breathe Again. Howard started the Breathe Again charity through his D12 Foundation in 2015, and he decided to restart the campaign, and he's going to release more details about that campaign once they start getting the restart going. Now, for people not joining in on the Restart Wizards, Bradley Beal won't be a part of it due to his shoulder injury that he feels really good that he recovered from, but it's just not kind of worth the risk right now. He's not all the way there to the point where he doesn't think he'd re-agitate it in the start of these games. Also, Nets will play and restart without Spencer Dinwiddie. After he tested positive for COVID-19, he sent out a heartfelt release on social media, on Twitter to be specific, saying, you know, he's still going to be there in spirit. He's going to be the guy's #1 fan, but clearly it's not, you know, he can't travel with them, and to quarantine and try to join them later just feels like a lot. For the NHL, we've got plenty of updates. Last week we had barely any. Now we've got some more specifics. So as of now, 35 players have tested positive for COVID-19 since June 8th. Still not that many people. Last we checked, it was only 225 players that got tested. But a lot of guys, you know, they didn't stay at their facilities. We mentioned that the Tampa Bay Lightning was the one team that maintained the majority of their roster in the city. Other than that, a lot of guys traveled. So they're just now getting back to their facilities. They're just now starting to hop into those 6 and 12-man training sessions. So now more tests are going to start coming up. Hopefully not too many more guys test positive, but they've also been traveling to get back. They have time, though. The dates that are being discussed for everything to take place and kick off is July 13th will start training camp, and July 26th the guys will fly out to the hub cities. August 1st should begin the games. Now, phase 3 and 4 still need to be approved by the NHLPA committee and the player reps for each team. The protocols included an agreement that no player will be penalized if he chooses to opt out. A player does not have to give a reason for why he wanted to opt out, and they had until 5 o'clock today to notify their teams if they will not be participating in the restart of the season. Eastern Conference teams will play in Toronto. We kind of knew that was coming. And then Western Conference teams will play in Edmonton. Now, some protocols being discussed that will be confirmed before training camp is that all individuals shall maintain physical distancing, of course 6 feet as we all know, at all times throughout phase 4 as much as possible, which includes being on planes, buses, at restaurants, and any social circumstances. The league will provide face coverings, though individuals can use their own, and they must be worn at all times in secure zones. Players do not need to wear face coverings, and coaches while exercising, and coaches don't need to wear a face mask while on the bench. Now, families cannot join the guys until conference finals, and any lack of compliance in these areas could result in a financial penalty. That makes sense. You have to kind of have that initiative there to motivate people to do the right thing. Crazy, right? Stick with us for another quick commercial break. When we come back, we've got some fun news for the MLS.
One of the things I love about Bass Pro is they have 3 great ways to shop. You can head into one of their awesome stores, visit BassPro.com, or get great gear from that catalog Johnny Morris sends out. Hi, here's your package. Bass Pro Shops, where commitment, passion, and the great outdoors all come together. Why would you shop anywhere else?
All right, guys, welcome back. So tomorrow is the big day. The MLS is officially back as of tomorrow evening, kicking off with International Miami versus Orlando City, and I am so psyched for this matchup. As you guys know, we've had major time covering the Orlando City soccer team, and International Miami, we're right there about to start hanging out with those guys, and then COVID-19 hit. So this is going to be a very emotional one for us at our outlet because, we love both teams. Why not? We're not rooting in either direction, but if you guys have a specific team between Orlando City and International Miami, please feel free to let us know who you'll be rooting on tomorrow evening. Now, that was the fun news. Unfortunately, we are in the middle of a pandemic, so here comes the not-so-fun news. FC Dallas had to drop out of the tournament due to too many players testing positive for COVID. Last time we talked about this, there was 9 players, so I can only imagine how many more guys ended up testing positive for them to have to make this decision. That's, really unfortunate for FC Dallas. Nashville has had to postpone training because their numbers are starting to get high for guys who are testing positive for COVID-19 as well. So their game is actually going to be postponed versus Chicago. Then we have a few other games getting postponed. Toronto versus DC is postponed to July 12th at 9 a.m. Toronto actually arrived late to the bubble, but as you guys know, if you've heard any of the news, coming in and out of Canada is really rough right now with all countries. We have to make sure people aren't spreading this virus. There's a lot more protocols to go through to enter the country, to leave the country. So, of course, it's understandable why Toronto kind of arrived late. And for the last game that's being postponed thus far is Seattle versus San Jose, being moved to July 10th at 9 p.m. So I hope you guys join in tomorrow and check out these games. I'm so psyched to have soccer back. You guys know that I obviously love soccer very much. And it's another professional sports team that we get to enjoy. And so all we're hoping for now is that football has an opportunity to have a proper training camp, a few preseason games so that guys can earn their slots, and a full 2020 NFL season. Those are where my fingers are crossed for right now. So stick with us, guys. Or not stick with us, sorry. That's all I have for you guys this evening. I appreciate y'all tuning in. And as usual, stay safe, stay sane, stay kind, and stay compassionate. And please, 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 wear your mask. We all want to get some sense of normality back. We don't want things to continue re-shutting down. We want things to continue reopening up. So wear your mask. Don't just think about yourself. Let's think about others. I'll catch you guys later.